Okay, we're live. All right, guys. Hopefully I'm live. Let me check over here. Okay, Les, we're live.
Where did you park? Well, you got a Ford now? Yeah. Ain't connect. You guys are moving up. Thanks, guys.
Mask. Les. Yeah, I'm just gonna get my.
What happened to your hair? Wow. You look like a rock star now.
All right, guys, can you see me okay? Can you guys hear me okay and see me okay? No filter for Les. So Les is going to be on his best behavior. Okay. Let me flip you around. All right. There's the gang. Alin and his son Nick. We got Les over there on. Les is on fire extinguisher duty. Fire extinguisher standing by, one on each side of the car. So we've got the car pretty much wired up this morning. We spent about the last half hour finalizing the wiring. So it's ready to turn over. We've got the fuel pump running. We've got a little bit of a leak on the rear carb here, just overfueling a little bit, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But other than that, it's pretty much ready to go, with the exception of the distributor, which we need to do a few things on. First of all, we need to spin the engine up to get oil pressure. We're going to do that with the drill, with that attachment that I made in one of my videos, and we'll show you that a little bit more closely. We also need to set the distributor end float, so we're going to do that as well before we drop the distributor in and get it lined up on number one cylinder for firing. So we're also going to have to turn the engine over to get to top dead center on number one on the compression stroke. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set you up here on the shelf behind me, and we're just going to kind of work on it. And if I need to grab the camera off the shelf, I'll try to do so. It's going to be a little bit jumpy as far as the footage is concerned when I grab the camera. But if there's something I want to show you, I will bring the camera a little bit closer. I'm also going to try and do a regular video at the same point. So I've got 3 different cameras set up, and I'll just put those on now. I've got a GoPro over here. We'll just get going. And I've got another camera over here. This is the drift camera, so we'll get this going. Okay, and one more over here. Another GoPro over here. All this technology is fun, isn't it? Okay. Yeah. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to set, you want to do the distributor end float first? Okay, so distributor end float is a bit of a, we were talking about this last night. I've got the Bentley opened here, and I was a little bit confused about checking the end float because this diagram here doesn't make any sense when you actually read the text of it. It's basically the placement of the washer that's confusing. Number 8 here shows where the washer, this is how you set your end float, by using a washer and using a micrometer to measure that, and then doing some math to figure out what your end float is. The washer should actually go on the shaft underneath here, not here in the middle. So we'll attempt to show you how we do that. So let me take you over to the car, and I'll grab what I need here. So I've got my washer that I'm going to be using, and it's 2.02 millimeters thick. I've already measured it. It's a nice hefty flat washer. We've got our distributor drive gear here ready to go, and of course our distributor, which we don't need currently. We need the pedestal. So we'll come over here and we'll get Alin to do some work here.
Yeah, get out of the way.
All right. So I always have a concern about dropping this washer into the engine. I'm not sure if it's possible or not. I don't think so. I think it's a little bit too big. So the washer goes directly on the bushing here. So we'll put that in first. I'm just going to grab a little flashlight just to get a little bit more light here. So the washer goes down, like so. Then we have the distributor drive gear.
Okay.
And it's got to fit down tightly on the oil pump shaft.
So I don't know if you see the.
It should fit. I've already tried it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not for this thing.
Now I might have to turn. I might have to turn the engine in order for it to drop.
Let's see. It needs to go a little bit.
Yeah, let me turn the engine for you. So I'm just going to turn the fan blade,
Okay.
and we'll probably see that drop down.
I think it dropped.
Did it drop already?
Yeah, because I can't. No. Oh, now it dropped.
Okay, so it's dropped down now. Yep. Okay, so then we take our pedestal right here. We drop the pedestal in.
Is this the right way?
Yep. And make sure that fits tight to the block.
It shouldn't fit tight.
It
now.
shouldn't fit because of the washer.
Now the washer is lifted it
Right,
up.
so,
but
go ahead.
hold on, did we measure that washer?
I did. I already measured it.
Why did you say that?
No. So what you need to do now is there's a gap now here between the engine block and the pedestal. So you need to get some feeler gauges and measure what your thickness is in here and then do some math afterwards. So we're going to do that now. Got the feeler gauges standing by here. Yeah.
This is tricky here if you over tighten this now because the washer is keeping it up.
Yeah.
You might crack the pedestal, so this should.
Yeah,
be
just snug.
Yeah.
And that should be 7/16, I think. Half inch. Okay, 7/16. Half, right? Half inch. Toolbox. You get to see my toolbox. There you go. Yes, where the Worcester sauce comes from. So we're just snugging that down. Again, we don't want to over tighten it. You don't want to crack the pedestal.
That's what it is.
All right, so feeler gauge time, which we have here.
I'm just going to take some random leaves and I'm going to try. I need more.
I'll just show you what the manual shows you to do as far as the math is concerned. So they give an example here. So you're looking for an end float of 0.005, if you can see that. So they've given a mathematical example here. So washer thickness, and I've already recorded the washer thickness. Then we have a measured gap. Then we have the end float, and then the gasket required. So there's the math component of this. So we'll wait for Ellen to give me the measurement with the.
Subtract the thickness of the washer from this gap or the gap from the thickness of the washer. Okay, so I have.
You're going to have to add all these up.
We can measure them.
Well, we could measure them. Yeah, measure them.
Okay, so I have.
Come over and we'll measure them.
Oh,
Oh, he's not finished over here yet.
I didn't matter. I don't like this smell too much. Okay.
So I don't think I'll be able to answer too many questions, unfortunately, because I'm obviously trying to video at the same time. So if I see them come up, I'll try to answer them. But if you don't see me answering your questions, it's because I'm trying to be a little bit busy taking some video. So I apologize. Somebody asked if you're having your coffee less. I should mention Happy New Year to everybody. I wanted to mention that. I know there are people watching from, which is pretty cool, from around the world, from obviously Canada, the US, Germany, Austria, Spain, Mexico, Australia, the UK. So, you know, just numerous places, and Bulgaria. I think Lynn's mom's watching. I know my mom's watching. Hi, Mom. So, yeah, it's pretty cool that we can do this live around the world, basically. I'm not sure how many people are watching at the moment. It looks like 172 people. So that's not too bad. So.
I have to tell you a little bit here because once I was.
So I should mention the intent here today is to get the engine started. So it's never been started. Obviously, it's been fully rebuilt. The intent is to start the engine and break in the cam and lifters. So it'll be a 20-minute run-in at between 2,000 and 2,500 RPM. So basically, it'll be start and then high idle for 20 minutes. Okay? All right, so we've got our washer thickness there of 2.02 millimeters. Here's our gap.
.37.
Okay. Do you have your calculator?
37 minus 2 is 35. So we have 0.35 millimeters, which is in metric.
Yeah.
So what should our gap be?
0.005 is
But
the
that's
required end float.
But that's the imperial. So we should ask Siri.
Yeah, so I can,
Hey Siri, what's 0.35 millimeters in inches?
0.35 millimeters is 0.014 inches.
0.014. So we have about 9,000
yeah, it'll say, yeah. So, yeah, 0.127 millimeters is 0.005. So 0.127 is 0.005 according to the manual.
So right now we have a gap of 0.14 and we need a gap of 0.005.
Yeah.
So we need a gasket of.
Let me just put you down here for a second. I'm going to go grab my gaskets.
So let me think about it.
So usually your gasket kits come with a few different thicknesses of shims.
Yeah. Let me think about it now. Now we have a 14 gap and we need to have 5 gap.
So here's the, you want to see the math right there? You can see the example right there. You want to read through that? So I did prime up the fuel pump just to make sure I didn't have any leaks. We have a little bit of a leak on this carb coming through the choke. So I don't know, again, it's not regulated. I'm not running the mechanical pump. I've just got the electric pump fired up. So that pressure might be a little bit too high for these carbs. So anyway, the pump's obviously off now, but the rest of the carbs are dry, just that one end carb. I'm sure it'll clear up once we fire it up. So we did wire up the temperature sender. So we've got that wired up through the voltage regulator here on the back. We have wired the switch up to activate the starter, obviously, and the fuel pump at the same time. We have our oil pressure feed hooked up, so we'll have oil pressure. Once we get the distributor in, we'll hook up our tack cable, so we've got that ready to go. And we have the speedometer in there just in case Alin wants to strap his spare seat in here and go for a spin around the block. So, alternator's not hooked up, obviously. Yep. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to do the priming of the oil pump. So,
Take out the washer.
yeah, I'm going to take that apart and I'll do the priming.
And I'll do the map.
Okay.
Now live. live. Take that to work there.
Okay, so we're going to prime the oil pump. So this is the tool I made on the last video. This is going to engage the dog in the oil pump. So we're going to put this in a electric drill, or battery-powered drill, and we're going to spin it in reverse. Make sure you spin it in reverse, and we should see oil pressure. So we'll do that after we remove the washer and the drive gear here, and we can actually see the top of the oil pump. Now this is where you got to be careful that you don't drop something down into the engine when you're taking these nuts and lock washers off. No pressure. It's always the problem with running live. You never know what you're going to run into as far as issues are concerned. So we're doing the best we can. It always seems to be the longest bolt ever when it's live. Need a comment from Les. Les, you want to make a comment?
Not yet.
He hasn't had his coffee fully yet, so
I'll
it's...
ask a comment so that the viewers can listen. So my question is, because I don't understand the technology as well as you fellas, but when you've got fuel in that carburetor setup now, and you have no way of monitoring the amount of flow, I'm wondering, will you have any concerns to put too much fuel onto your pistons or anything like that?
No,
Nothing to worry about, right?
for this short run-in. So this fuel pump is, says give less more coffee. This fuel pump is supposedly regulated already internally for a maximum of 3 to 4 pounds. I think the Webers only need between about 2 and 3.5 to 4 pounds. So we should be okay as far as using this pump. It is internally regulated. Now, normally if I was going to be using an electric pump as my everyday pump, but as I've mentioned, I'm going to go to the stock mechanical pump. If I was going to be going with a electric pump install for future, I would definitely put a regulator on it, regardless of what it's internally regulated for. But you can actually buy the pumps that are specifically rated of, I think it's flow per hour or flow per minute or whatever. So anyway, so I'm going to prime this up now. So there is the, I don't know if you can see that, there's the slot that I'm trying to drop this tool into. So I'm going to have Nick come and grab the camera here, and we're going to watch the oil pressure. Well, he can watch, so just grab it there, Nick. Okay, let me get higher. And I'm going to get my drill here and chuck this up.
Where should I film?
You can do it here for a minute. I'm just going to make sure this goes into the oil pump drive. Make sure it's seated down in there. I've already checked that it actually does fit, so that works. As I mentioned in my other video, you can use a piece of threaded rod, but I prefer to use something other than that. The threaded rod I think can leave burrs. All right, let's see if this, so keep an eye on the pressure gauge, and you should see pressure. So oil pressure is here. You should see that move after a couple of seconds of me cranking it. Okay?
No.
Well, it should be coming now because I can hear it.
Yeah, it's moving a little bit. It's
I've got oil coming up through here, so
yeah. It's
how much pressure do I have?
Oh, 0.1, 2, or 2. 50.
Okay, so we got oil pressure. So we're good to go there.
It's dropping down now.
Yeah, because I've stopped spinning it. So we've got good oil pressure.
That's good.
Now, if you want, you could always pull the top of the valve cover off. I don't have this fastened down yet. You can check to see if you've got oil coming out of the rockers at the top here. I've already oiled this down, but you could technically see oil coming out. There's little weep holes here in the rockers. You can see the oil coming out of there. So that's nicely lubricated.
Which are those, Dave?
Yeah, there's little holes here.
Pinholes.
Yeah, little pinholes.
Yeah.
You can see that, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the little holes here, you can see that little hole there? That's where the oil will come out. All right? And make sure you have your little screw in here. If that screw falls out, you'll have zero oil pressure to your rocker gear. And that often comes out. You can buy aftermarket screws that are a little sturdier than those. You can actually lock wire them in. It's not a bad idea. I'm just going to put you back up on the wall here for a second. Okay. Okay, Lynn's done the math. I'll bring the camera back and we can share it. All right.
So I got a little bit confused because we were working here in metric and imperial, but now I converted everything to imperial. So the washer thickness is 7,079 thousandths, and our gap that we measured was 93 thousandths, which gives us 14 thousandths of difference. Now, this means that if we remove the washer, which is this thickness, and we drop the distributor, the pedestal down, we're gonna have interference because we need to drop it 14 thousandths down more. So this means that we need a gasket of 14 thousandths to keep it up and still have a 5 thousandths of difference there, a gap. And our gaskets are all the same actually. They're all about 14 thou. So
Okay.
the gaskets are perfect. So they give you more gaskets in case you need
Stack them.
to stack them, yeah. But they're all 13 to 14 thou, so you just need to use one gasket and that's all.
Okay, perfect. So now that we spun the engine up, we can work on getting the distributor back in. So let me just set you back up here.
So in a nutshell, that's it. That in there.
There was no gasket less in there.
Yeah. More than one gasket in case there is war.
I wasn't, yeah, I heard you say that you need clearance.
You need
I don't want to bang or rub or something or wash
Yeah,
something
we're
off.
gonna put 3 more.
Thank you. I would never have thought of.
Okay, Les, over towards the camera there. Somebody's asking about how your TR6 project is coming along.
Right?
Yeah. We got an update, Les.
Which camera? Yeah,
The one up on the shelf.
there.
How's my TR6? I'm looking for donations because of coronavirus. I've had to put the cars on somewhat of a hold. Haven't had the excess cash to get into it too much, and I've concentrated on the last part of the 2020 year on trying to get business, keep business, and survive, basically, guys. No disrespect, but it hasn't been the priority I wanted it to be, and I'm going to get back into it in January.
So, Thomas is asking what I made for lunch. So, lunch was not a priority for today, so if lunch is going to be had, it's probably going to be pizza. Skip the dishes. Okay. Okay, so what are we up to?
Camera too, right?
Okay, do you want me to grab that?
No, just stay away from the camera. Okay, I was doing that to make it sure.
No.
Okay. So I think nothing about it before we forget it.
That's the makers the paste.
RTV.
What, just to make it better seal, is that right?
Alright, I don't see the smoke anymore because it's closed now. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to clean it short.
Okay, so,
Let's see if we take the center.
okay, so, let me just put this on here. So you want me to shine the light on it, so you can pick this up? Turn it?
Shine the light down there.
You know,
Okay,
well,
so you need your finger
I
there.
know, but once I feel compression, I'll remove it.
Okay.
So Les, you come over here, because I need your big finger. So we're, I don't know if you can probably just see my back, but Les is gonna come over here and stick his big finger in spark plug hole number 1. And we're just gonna turn the engine over. And get over here, Les. We're just gonna turn the engine over by hand by grabbing the fan. On the TR250, there's no dog on the front of the fan. Like there is on the TR6 where you can actually get a ratchet or a wrench on there. So I find that a little bit difficult on this car. Now if I went with the fan and eliminator kit, I could actually have a bolt to turn, but since this doesn't have it, I've got to grab the fan to turn it. So stick your finger in there, and we're just going to turn until he feels compression. And we'll just go.
Okay, cool, yeah.
You can do this by looking at the valves as well, but I like to get less to work.
Yeah.
Is that coming up?
Coming up.
Okay, so we're on a compression stroke. I'm gonna come over and take your finger. I'm gonna take a look at see if the piston. You might want to move that little flash right there. So I'm just gonna move this up slowly while Elaine watches the piston come to the top.
Needs to come up more?
Apparently it's not a compression stroke. So, down lower on the thing.
So what we're doing is pistons move up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
He wants to set that on piston, that corner in place. And then get the top. So you're guiding him in the second, the piston in the ballast. So they have to move the air.
So you can buy a piston whistle, which is kind of interesting, or you can make one. I saw a guy make one out of a dog squeeze toy, which I was thinking of doing, but I didn't have the fittings, and they're kind of locked down here now, so it's difficult to get some parts.
But based on the marks as well.
Yep.
How did you see that, man? Sorry? You can actually see it.
Yeah, I don't know if you're not going to be able to see this through the camera, but there are the markings on the pulley.
You can actually look in where the spark plug is, and you can see where it's.
Or you can get a stop, or you can check the valves. And then there's a valve guy.
And they should be open, they're open right now. So that's not the one that you're looking for. So it's the other.
Yeah, I don't like sticking a screwdriver in the hole because it might damage the piston. So we're on compression now. That's going down there.
So now this should be the center, right? Yeah. But you already have the incorporated.
So go and do it to where we advance the distributor. Or we will do it.
There's some more.
So, I'm live, you're live, right?
Yeah. So we're finding that one of the valves is a little bit open, TDC. That's pretty close there, right? Yeah. You go there.
Should be over there.
There's the mark.
I think it's not.
Here, 2 degrees after from the center.
Okay, let's go with that. Okay, so that's set. So we've got the distributor drive gear. I'm going to drop that in and engage it with the oil pump shaft. Now, decent point at 7 o'clock, roughly. So I'm just going to turn the oil pump shaft. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for as far as the orientation of the drive gear magnet shaft. Yeah, right behind you up on the toolbox.
I want to position the shaft of the oil pump pretty much the same orientation as my.
So the gear will spin a little bit as it drops down, so it's a bit of a trial to get it to spin and drop in the right location. But we're just trying to align the oil pump dog to get it close. You got time, John, don't worry.
Is he in a hurry?
No, he's going to get a coffee.
Yeah, he said he ran out of coffee. He doesn't want to miss the show.
Okay. Right there. Where's the light?
There's towels right there behind you if you want. So it's going to spin as it drops, and you want to make sure it engages with the oil pump.
So because it spins, it goes.
Yeah.
We need to put it somewhere around 6 o'clock, so when it goes down, it's about 7. Okay, so now can we turn the engine a little bit so we can turn.
There
And I'm gonna push.
you go. Ready?
Yeah. Okay, it went down. Okay, can you put it back now, the engine? Can we turn backwards so we can go back to...
There, take this up. Just film that.
Sorry.
Okay, where is it now?
Pretty close.
Okay, keep going. Okay, that's good. That's good. Hold on. And I think we're 1 2 off.
Okay, you wanna try to drop it again, let me see?
Like 8 o'clock.
It's pretty close, I would say. Let me see.
Okay.
That looks like 7 o'clock, don't you think? Or you think it should probably 1 tooth? Maybe bring it 1 tooth?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Let's
The
go.
distributor is gonna have to be positioned in a different way if it is.
Okay. We'll try to bring it back 1 tooth. Sorry, Ralph, we knew this wasn't gonna be a short process. Yeah, I don't have the option to push the car around because it's on jack stands. Plus, it's pretty icy and snowy in the driveway, so there's no way I'm pushing it up and down the driveway. You want a stronger magnet?
How do I get it?
I have a stronger magnet somewhere. Just had it in my hand.
Okay. Can you spin the engine now again?
Yep.
Maybe that way.
Nope.
Spin it the other way again.
I'll take this, Nick. I don't think I need the light.
Okay, he dropped now, so let's go again. Go a little bit past the center. That's it. Went a little bit fast, but yeah, I think that's more like 7 o'clock now.
Okay.
Alright. So we have a gasket, the pedestal.
Okay, so we're ready to drop the distributor in. I'm going to put you back up here on the shelf. Go ahead. Did you say you saw that nut? No, that's a washer. You're looking for a nut?
Yeah,
Les, did you say you saw a nut drop?
I broke it half an hour ago.
But what if you dropped it in the engine?
No, I broke it out for sure.
It came out, I heard it, it went towards the milk crate before it.
Those parts of the side that they don't want to be parts of the engine.
So not that it matters probably very much, but I did not, when I removed the distributor, I kept the clamp tight. So I'm not sure with a rebuild engine whether that's going to matter or not, but anyway, this is where it came out of the car, so we can always start with it there. We will loosen this off a little bit so we can turn it as required, but just thought I'd mention that really quickly. Okay, I'm going to put the plug in. So the distributor can only go in a certain way with that dog that fits into the drive gear. So wherever the rotor points now is where our number one spark plug lead is going to be fixed.
The order is this. The number one would be here. Or there. So,
Someone said that every object left in the garage doesn't take that.
Yeah, it's with the 10mm socket. That nut.
I'm going to keep the other one. Where I'm going.
How do you want to stick it?
Okay, let me go down again.
Am I heading the way or anybody see this still? Anybody have any questions? Nick can read them out to me. Anybody have any concerns with what they've seen so far?
I think they did release coupling the
That's good. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves.
Check on the intake. And just lost way on the rack, is it the crankshaft that would possibly be in the wrong position? Possibly. On the load?
Possibly.
That was a question I was going to ask, but I didn't know that. So we really would have to reposition it.
It's also possible to put the distributor in 180 degrees out, which I'm sure some of us have done before. So we're trying to prevent that. The car won't start generally if it's 180 out. It'll backfire, but it won't start. I think when I did my 73 TR6 restoration, the distributor was 180 out. So I think initially I just moved the wires around to compensate. But in the long run, better to fix it.
Someone else probably stands yes,
Well, it's good depending.
I like Triumph very much.
The other one about Forza Horizon now.
Yeah, I got Forza Horizon 4, which is like a racing game on
And it has, how many times does it have there?
like 4. It has the Spitfire, the TR6.
Yeah, so Nick's starting to get interested in Forza Horizon 4 on PS4? Yes,
On PC.
on PC. And he's built a whole bunch of cars in his digital garage. So I've been checking them out every now and then. I said, we need to build the real thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the go-kart.
I was checking out, he had a nice 240Z
Yeah.
on one of his builds, which was pretty cool. That would be a kind of a fun car to have. It would have been a direct competitor for the TR6 back in the day.
Yeah.
What about a Capri?
I don't think they have those.
No, it's
Yeah.
a real cars now.
No. We got parts for that.
Just so you can, just don't slacken it forward. Okay, so we're going to, all the plugs are in. We're going to run the plug wires. I'm going to put my valve cover back on.
Hey Dave, you told the boys about your car?
Which one?
The one you got before Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, they all know about my Capri. They think I'm crazy.
So guys said the best is same thing. These tracks are much better than computers. He's just very quiet on it.
Tell them all
See, I
that.
was so distracted there with that Capri question, I was putting the valve cover on backwards.
You think it will put it upside down?
Okay, we're getting closer.
Straight 6, V6, what's the difference?
My dad told me that. I don't know.
That's a straight 6, like the V. Big
You're
silver,
sucking it off.
Oh,
big side,
yeah.
piece of shit. Single overhead cab. I told my wife today, they was written that, she said, how long is it gonna take to do this? I said, well, the land's gonna be there, 2 days just to help us some of the wiring and intricate things, just for comfort. And it usually probably should take 1 to 2 hours.
You see that screwdriver, and you have a screwdriver, and you have the...
Flat?
So it's a Jackson for 15,
Okay, I have a choice of running my old spark plug wires or my new green wires from TRF, Roadster Factory. I think we'll just stick with the old wires for now. I don't think I'm going to end up running these green wires anyway. Probably get some better wires. They look good. I think Les will get the green wires.
You told me you don't want to.
They're fantastic, those green wires. Nothing I wouldn't, I would definitely run those on my TR6.
I'll give you 50 cents in the dollar
Yeah.
for it.
Someone asked how you got that plug behind alternator.
Yeah, so it's a good question, because on my TR6, the alternator is so tight to the plug on the TR6 that I have to take the back of the cover off or move the alternator completely Usually what I do is just take the back cover off to get to the number 1 plug. But on the 250, for some reason, I'm able to get to that a little easier than I am on the TR6.
You told me that when we were taking mine apart, they,
Okay, negative pole disconnected. And insert some that here. And this part is negative.
Yeah, we'll just try and play with it.
distributor.
So we're going to clear the nub in the thing here. Okay. Okay, so in my wisdom, which I don't have a lot of, I've labeled the plug wires when I took them off. So there's number 1. Obviously just a length you're looking for. So somebody tell me what the firing order is. I know what it is, but there's a quick quiz for you. Can they answer that?
What's after one?
So that's a 1, 5, 8, 6, 2, 4.
Yay, you get some
That's my
prize.
phone number.
I think he said that's really bad.
5.
We go clockwise,
Tell
right?
them that, boy, you get a free COVID mask.
Clockwise.
Counterclockwise.
No, clockwise. I think it's clockwise. Pretty sure it's clockwise. Clockwise or counterclockwise? I'm pretty sure it's clockwise.
Why do we spin the whole company rules?
I'm pretty sure it's clockwise.
Why do we spin
Anybody
the
gonna
whole
answer
time?
that? Lynn says counterclockwise on the plug wires. I'm saying clockwise. That's what I thought, clockwise.
So why do we spin the counterclockwise? I'm pretty sure we're wrong here. Okay. I'll open this thing.
Oh, geez, you guys, now you're confusing us. So.
Okay, let's check it. Come here, let's turn the engine.
Right. Well, we know the distributor spins.
Counterclockwise.
Okay. Counterclockwise. Who said clockwise? We're not going to shame anybody.
The guy that pays the mechanic to do his car.
Okay, so 5. Then 3. No. 3.
I didn't say clockwise, so
3.
This is not long enough, no?
This sounds good. 3. 6. 6.
Here's a question for you, Mr. Tush, I'm gonna get answers here, so.
You're looking correct, though.
So, other than looking messy, is there a reason wires are different lengths? Does it create a problem if they were all longer?
Yeah, you want them to
For
be.
resistance or?
Yeah, exactly. You want them- Partially because of neatness and for resistance, and usually I like to have a separator in between the wires as well.
These cars, you don't have to worry about anything touching the manifolds. Exhaust, for the wires, right, Malcolm?
Okay, getting pretty close. Anybody bored? No, that's not the case. I wanted to do a few things before. Things that people haven't seen, like I said, that setting the distributor end flow is pretty important, and I don't think there's a lot of information out there. And what's in the manual is a little bit confusing, so that's why I did it. So tap cable hooked up. Tap cable.
Tell them we're not like top tier, you know, they do it beforehand.
Yeah, coolant is topped up. I had a little bit of a leak on the coolant at the petcock on the block, so that was weeping a little bit. But the coolant is full as I can get it. I mentioned in a video I took yesterday that it's yet to be. Don't touch it. that's yet to be posted that, where was I going with that one? Anyway, I've filled the coolant up, but obviously it's less than the capacity is indicated in the manual because I don't have the heater core installed, so it's less coolant. The oil is in and being checked. It's got the break-in there as well. Got the valve cover tightened down. We've got the coolant looped off in the back here. So we've got fuel ready to go. Fire extinguisher standing by.
Gary says less is staying with me.
Yeah, less is standing in front of my. Okay, I'm going to crack the garage door open. No, stand.
It's gonna have the on the
Okay, all our gauges are hooked up, switch is hooked up, battery is hooked up, gas is hooked up. Okay, you ready to start it?
I think so.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I don't have the chokes hooked up on this, so hopefully we'll try no choke. And fire extinguisher standing by. We'll give it a couple pumps. Okay, Nick, can you just open the side door? And there's a prop behind the door. Here we go. Neutral. Neutral. Fuel. Do a little quick start. It is about -1 degree Celsius outside. No, it's fine. I got the side door open. Okay, here we go. Here, I'll do manual choke. Les, come and crank. Good.
All right?
Good.
You getting spark?
To find something.
Probably won't fire on this. You give a shot here. It should fire on this, but
Then you have to do this.
Good. You got lots of oil pressure still, guys.
Check for spark. You should have spark. You check for spark.
Yeah, so we said two.
Yeah, we got spark. We definitely got fuel. Do you want to do a point so you see if maybe we'll just press the point up a bit? Well, we are getting start, so.
We're ready for the right time though.
We got power to join us because we're going to start. Bump it. Check to see if the rotor is spinning as well, when it's cranking. I like it when they kind of just fire up like immediately. Make sure you get them bottom stuff.
Just making the photo with the first area.
Yes, it's an adventure. Okay. No. Yeah, we were getting a little bit of a kick there, but it's possible this timing might be 180 out. So we can try, if it's only there, we can try popping the spark plug down, so we leave that, keep it fire. And the rotor is spinning, right? You know that, Joe? Yeah. You look at the phone so open up things?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I still have that.
Yeah, still, no. Yeah, do that again, whatever you just did,
You did the
Breaker?
breaker now?
in the distributor. That actually light would go off, so it was the breaker on the, good.
You had to see what?
It did before, and, no. Good dog. Good dog.
That should be our time. We're just, I don't know what it's like, 6, 7 degrees before the center. And that's way.
What's that? No.
It's sunny and snowy.
We got spark, we definitely got fuel.
Definitely will spark, but this is the right time.
I like this house because we want to tell you what time.
That's the worst concern that we have, and we're trying to avoid that.
I don't know, I just said it because I really did. I'm here to learn.
Yeah, it turns over like a D12 Jag because it's got a high torque starter in it.
How is the timing video on the house in the same? And double check this like 6 million times, right?
Close water.
Yeah. No pressure. So we're going to move the plug wires around, see if we're, might be 180 out. Shouldn't be, but. Getting cold out in the garage. Maybe if we close the garage, it'll start. Yeah, that's what we have.
Amazing, eh? Guys are watching you, and they're actually checking while we're here to help you. Pretty incredible communication.
Okay. Maybe I have this one. So what is this here? I have it here.
Yes, the video stopped because you got called.
Is it not on there?
No,
No, no, right?
I think they say some.
Is this gonna be a real?
Oh, sorry, for the 180, yeah.
Because I have it. I think I have one here now.
All right. The 180 I've tried. Whoa. Backfire. You want to get that thing on the stairs here, no?
This,
Yeah, I think it's Did you print?
Well,
Well, guys,
double check the time.
I think we're gonna have to call the live stream, unfortunately. I don't think you guys are gonna want to stay here for us to do all our checks.
I need to go grab my tools anyways.
We tried, so
I
I guess what I'll do is I will bring back another live stream when we are getting close to trying to start it again, but we've kind of exhausted everything at the moment. And I'm not going to keep you here while we try to figure out what's going on. So we'll bring you back. Well, just look for a live stream pop-up. I'm not sure whether it's going to be this afternoon or not, but look for a live stream pop-up and maybe come back and we'll have better news for you. Sorry guys, but that's the way things go. I said it's a possibility that it might not start, so yeah, we think it's the timing. We're not going to give up on it, but we're not going to keep you guys here for another hour or two. So keep an eye out for another live stream if you want to join us. I'll video it regardless, but if you want to join, just keep an eye out for a live stream. So we'll end it for now, guys. Sorry we didn't get it started for you, but we will. It's a bit of a bummer, but we'll keep working on it, and we'll bring you back the next time we try to get it started. So thanks for watching. So it's sort of anticlimactic, but that's the way it goes sometimes. It should start. I don't think it's flooded because I think it would start probably on the ether. We're not even getting a kick out of the ether. So got to be probably timing related. So we'll figure it out and we'll come back. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. And yeah, back to your crossword, John.
go get more coffee.
Yeah, get more coffee, pop some popcorn, and think about us in this garage trying to fix this issue. Thanks guys. Bye.